about this is going to help anything, but I'm sorting out what happened there with everything. And yeah, it's fascinating to find out what else goes on, but as far as my situation, you know, they told me that in the trauma rehab, they said the only way you'll be really feel like even safe in the psychological sense is if you have your own attorney. So okay. Um, well, I'm thinking what to tell the attorney. Um, because you know what this crowd was doing and what it kept going. Um, them, these professionals, you know, every time you talk to them, it's as though nothing's happened. It's as though nothing's happened. Um, they're warm, friendly. What they were doing, it destroyed a person. Everywhere I go to the trauma rehab, it's not like a secret. They appear to be did live in a different reality or something, but whatever it is, it's very difficult because you know this is round after round of this, and okay, now I'm in a much safer situation because there's no psychiatrist involved. So I don't know what the possibility is. So let's say like I don't speak to these people. I'm not going to live on disability again. And at this point, I mean, you know, the income there is that's mine. I mean, Rick guys no longer doesn't really matter. But the fact is, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen next. But what's happened in the past, when there was a psychiatrist in the picture, that's the shit out that people are putting up out of that gang stalking shit. I mean, that's not. I mean, that's like a criminal act. So this isn't like gonna go away. The question is, okay, what's gonna happen now that we don't have psychiatrists in the mix? And but at some point, this is gonna be. I mean, become apparent that I'm, you know, we're not speaking, but okay. Time passes, okay. But I'm not going to communicate with them. I mean, I'm really not. And even if I was, I would say I want to be left alone by these people. But something's going to happen. But I'm trying to compile what to tell this attorney. First of all, you know, I'm not as worried about my credibility anymore. It's just a question of what is the problem? I mean, when people have been doing something like this that was hard to describe to begin with, and now there's new variables in it, but I'm saying I can't allow what happened before to happen again. It happened, I've been through this about 3 times, and by the 3rd time I knew that was real. That they were not, you know, that wasn't okay. But here we are again, you know. I'd be liable to just forget about it in a way, but no, I mean, that's what happened last time. And they've showed and insisted, I mean, the things that have happened, I mean, these people, it's not even safe to go near them. But now, see, I made the move to get out of this psychiatry crap. And that seemed to be the main way that this was going on. But now I still don't have any, they don't seem to think that that there's any rights here or anything. I mean, the things they've done show that they're not interested in the human life or anything. Okay, fine, I don't know what that is or how sick they are. But, something's gonna happen. And I need the attorney. it was recommended, but God, for the life of me, what to say that these people were doing? Um, to say I don't want contact, and what? I mean, I keep these books. I've showed these books I have earlier. You know, I mean, some of these are. This one's a close-up. I mean, this is describing this. None of these are describing exactly what took place, but it's all varieties of stalking behaviors and covert behaviors, and all geared to preventing the person from exiting the relationship. And also there's stuff about making an effort to see if to get the person institutionalized. Much of what they were doing are things, the kind of things covertly that would induce a breakdown in a normal person. And then all of a sudden it's, you don't know what's wrong with this person. So I gotta come up with a way to describe this to an attorney that is not, I mean, that's why I'm even researching it. Is what they've done to a person is leave me with some, there's not much to say. I mean, there's everything to say. The woman in the rehab, when she said, look, if you're in this situation with a person like that in your family, you're never safe. She said, that's a psychopath. I said, I know, that's a sick person. But, you know, they kill you with kindness, and I'm done being mystified by how sick they are. But I just don't know what to say to the attorney. And also, there's no action to take. But something's going to happen. Something's going to happen, and then I have to be able to say, contact my attorney. But only I know why it's gotten that serious. I mean, I could get the files from the rehab. Get the files from the rehab. I think that's what's best. The files from the rehab, the files from the other place, the psychological testing, and come in there with my papers and say, I don't know what this is. And I'm researching to find out what it is that this is. But, I mean, I don't have, all I do is sit around and figure out how to avoid the next round of this. It's never clear what's happening on the other end. It really isn't. But I mean, it just, part of it is isolating. I don't know what to call that type of situation. I got out of something that what it was going to be was just they were ready to have me a number of times. I saw the whole thing taking shape a few times, just locked in some psychiatric experience. So having gotten rid of it, I'm not sure what to say I survived, because I don't know. Must be, there's this, I'll order the files. I think I'll order the files, and I try to look into this more or see what this is exactly. I mean, there is some literature on like these exploitive relationships where one side is they give a checklist of things they do to indicate that nothing has happened, like the expression of warmth, the perception of there being a long-term relationship, and actually they've been very clever they indicated that many people in the situation at different times would not realize we haven't spoken in 3 years. And they do everything to pretend that we're still on good terms. And they're not in reality. Or they just pretend something. I don't know what they think, but I know that at every trauma rehab I've been to, and we'll just see. But I don't know what kind of situation this is, except that if it wasn't for a lot of ingenuity, I'd be locked in a nut house or suicide. I was going to end up a suicide. I should be dead. I mean, that's what they were doing. Now, how do I know that for sure? I mean, it was happening. That is what I escaped. You were just boxed in, but they just kept coming in. They change personalities. they change personalities. In private, there's some very frightening things happen, and then when they have you in the psychiatric situation, they're actually just telling us, oh, you know, they're trying to, it's some kind of, I don't know what to call what they were doing. It happened 3 times. It happened 3 times. It seems that part of it has to do with deleting the last several years. Like, did they come in pretending, like I'm 34 years old, like they would come in behaving as though I'm a much younger person. But by the time the rounds of what was happening would be done, I'd be so broken down that it just made itself, there was no way to assert yourself. And then the time I finally did, and I said, this is enough, then that's when they said I was psychotic. Well, what it was is, you know, look, I was a 33-year-old man, and they got a network of psychiatrists, and the family is attempting to force me into a role where I'm like I'm a little boy. That's what they were treating me that way, and I just said that's enough. And I got very angry, and then lo and behold, they used that another psychiatric word, and that's some kind of infantilizing religion or something. I mean, that's no joke. But I mean, I gotta figure out what to tell an attorney, because every day this is just on my mind. So I gotta figure out what to tell an attorney that happened. Because what did happen is, and most people don't get out of this, so I'm in new territory. I mean, this isn't unusual. I don't think most people get out of that. I really don't. You have no idea how hard it is to get out of that psychiatry thing if you want to. If you want to. I'm not saying that everyone in it is being brainwashed or something, but if you choose to say, this is actually harming me, I want this to stop, it's incredible what you have to do to make it stop. But I need to make up a thing, because without an attorney, there's no other type of person. They told me in a child rehab, without an attorney, and if I have an attorney, maybe I can look into this in a different way. I mean, that's just it. I'd like to get an attorney where it wasn't just say, well, I don't know what this is. If there was some idea that this is part of something that does happen, there's something that happens. Something, I don't know. We'll figure something out.